Hi Sagittarius, thanks for tuning in. This is your reading for February. Tune in with me while I shuffle. Check in with your higher self and your guides. Ask them to connect with me and to pass on any messages or insight that they have for you at this time that will help you on your way. We're going to take a look at the general energies available at this time. Grab some headphones. Please don't multitask while you're watching this reading. I don't want you to miss anything important coming through. I don't want you to waste your time either. So please bring all of your presence and awareness to this reading, and let's take a look. So death is at the bottom of the deck. Interesting. Okay. A lot of major arcana cards in your spread. You have Temperance, Hierophant reversed, Magician, Star reversed, and as I said, there's Death at the bottom of the deck here. So this is I would say this is a very significant time for you, for Sagittarius people. Major changes happening, some transitions occurring. There's a lot of emotional energy in this reading as well. There's a Three of Swords with Ace of Swords, Six of Swords at the heart of the reading, Five of Swords. So emotional energy, but stemming from your thought processes. I would say there's some maybe overthinking or some anxiety at the moment. You may be, I feel like for some of you, you might be going back over things that happened in the past and sort of reliving them. And that might be causing you to feel sadness, disappointment, maybe even regret. What else is here? Just give me a second to tune in. You can see all the cards. Let's start here at the center. So you have the Six of Swords in reverse at the heart of the reading, crossed by Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is also in reverse. So what I feel with that is that you may be... I feel like there is an element in this reading that's quite strong, that's about you kind of reliving or thinking about events from the past and things that are in your memory. I feel like you might be at the moment rehashing things, and the feeling I get with that is that you might be reminiscing or ruminating on events from the past where things were more happy or more easy or more magical. With the Magician here, this card represents the energy of the recent past, or the energy that you're coming into this reading with. So I feel that with the Six of Swords there being in reverse with Nine of Cups, with the Magician there in the past, there is a sensation in this spread of you kind of longing for times gone by where things were a bit more exciting, where things were a little bit more magical, where things were more fun and playful and easy perhaps. And I feel like maybe at this time you might be under a little bit of pressure from within. I feel like there's an internal pressure in this reading for you to make changes, for you to... How do I say that? I feel like that you're putting yourself under pressure at the moment to make new targets to reach, like to set new goals, to kind of achieve more than what you've already achieved. Maybe some of you feel like there's a feeling of, with some of that memory that I just described there's also a little feeling here of, having been like achieved certain goals in the past, and maybe at the current time you might feel a little bit stagnant, or maybe you feel like you're not really moving forward at the pace you would like to be. Maybe you're looking for more evidence, more physical evidence of what you want to express in the world, like what you're feeling internally as far as the progress that you've been making or the development that you've been kind of pursuing. There's a feeling of you wanting to see more of that in the physical manifest world. But I feel like it's something that's more within, there's more energy of that within. Now, what's down here, we have in this quadrant of the reading, which is you and how you see yourself now, We have Hierophant reversed with a King of Swords in reverse. And at the center of the reading in the foundation, we have the Knight of Cups. And then here in your environment, Temperance with Two of Cups, both upright. So, I feel a kind of rebellious energy with these two cards. I feel like you are feeling maybe a little bit constrained by, I feel like you want to break some rules at the moment. I feel like you want to surprise people with your actions or with sort of some developments that you're making. I also feel this energy of you just wanting to flip a few people off and just being like, "Fuck you! I'm going my way. This is what I'm doing. This is what I want to do, and this is how I want to do it." And that could even be a partner. You could be wanting to like flip off your partner. You could be wanting to. It's a rule breaking energy. That's what I feel. You want to do things your own way. You want to kind of rewrite a script of sort of how things ought to be done or how things have been done in the past. You kind of want to just like do things your own way, even if that breaks a few hearts. That's what I feel here. It's almost like you're okay with having some collateral damage if it means that you can kind of express a certain way of doing and being that really feels like it's important to you at the moment. That's what I feel. And even though I feel some difficult energy in this reading, I get the sense from you that you have this real determination at the moment to kind of pursue a healing path for yourself that involves some rebelliousness, that involves a little bit of, breaking some rules, rewriting the script, um, eliminating expectation in a certain way, or like shattering expectation that other people have of you, perhaps. I feel like you want to be a little bit selfish at the moment, and I get the sense that there's some, like if you are in a partnership, I feel like you're feeling this pressure of the expectation of your partner to kind of, I don't know, perform a certain way or be a certain way to kind of meet their needs in certain ways, and I feel like that is not working for you at the moment. Like you want to like shatter some boundaries or form. Maybe you feel like you've had some severe boundaries that you need to kind of break through and break down in order to express some kind of rebelliousness or some kind of like. It's a really interesting energy that I'm picking up on in this reading. I hope it's making sense for you. What else can I say here about these cards? I really feel that what's really strong to me in this reading with all these the swords cards is that I feel like you need to, or you want to communicate certain things that maybe you've been holding back on saying because there's a tenderness around the things that you want to express, and you don't necessarily want to hurt anybody's feelings, but at the same time I feel like I think that you feel that if you don't say certain things, you're just hurting yourself. That's what I'm getting from these two cards. Also, this Five of Swords with the Star in reverse. It's like you know that you need to say some things because right now it's just all in your head. It just keeps like turning over and over in your head. There's certain things, like certain concepts, ideas, things that you want to express that you've been holding back on because you're really afraid that it's going to hurt another person. But you already understand that if you don't say these things, that you're hurting yourself. So something needs to shift here, whether it's you changing your mind about the things that you need to say and finding a different way to express it, or processing it on your own in a certain way that will actually help bring you to a new point of clarity without having to kind of dump out some energy on someone else for them to feel what you're feeling to help you process it. That's one way to do it. The other way is to just be really raw and real and vulnerable and just get that energy out with a person that like the person. There's one specific person here, and I feel like it could be if you're a couple. This is about your partner that your partnership. There's something here about needing to really communicate things that you've been holding back, and I feel that it's really necessary for your own personal healing. Like there's something painful that you're holding on to, that I sense is like there's something inhibited here. There's something inhibited. I'm hearing toxic. So, I feel with that there's some health implications. Like I feel some kind of like skin thing. Some of you might be dealing with some kind of skin thing, like a rash or some kind of like disturbance on the skin. And it has to do, in part, not entirely, in part, something to do with a communication that you've been delaying, something that you've been holding back on expressing for fear of the impact that it will create. And in some ways that's actually fair. Like it's not necessarily always the case that you have to say everything that you feel to somebody. So take that as it comes for you. It's not going to be the same for everyone. For some of you, there is something clearly that you need to express to another individual. Could be a partner, could be a family member, that you've been holding back on for some time, that is causing you pain, that just needs to be expressed. But for others of you, that's not the case. What's true in other cases is that you need to change the way that you're perceiving a situation and change the way that you're feeling and thinking about a situation. And that will be what helps you process it. It's not necessarily about dumping out a bunch of communication on someone because you've been holding back and you feel like that you need to just express it and get it out. Okay, so there's different messages there. Figure out what's the right one for you to take action on. Now, what else is here? I feel like I've been saying this for a while now in the Sagittarius readings, where there's been some kind of like extended journey of healing for a partner, and you may feel like it's not like you've been giving a lot of energy towards commitment and stability and support for your partner while they've been going through maybe a long healing crisis. But I still feel that, and I don't always remember the readings from month to month because there's 12 of them and I do them over and over again, but I do remember that from the Sagittarian readings, and I feel that that's still true in this case. Like I feel that there's been that repetition of the same message coming through now for several months for Sagittarius. And I feel like what I want to say about that with regards to this reading is that I'm feeling your rebellious energy. I'm feeling like you wanting to break out of expectations and break out of structure and break out of, like if you feel like, I feel like for a lot of you, your partner is quite a strong character. And I feel like your energy is wanting to just be like a bit, like I said, rebellious and breaking out of expectation and shattering whatever ceiling is there, or breaking like disturbing a boundary, or shifting a boundary or establishing a new boundary, something like that. But I still feel like there is a commitment here, even though there's a little bit of distress and pain in this reading, emotional pain. I still feel like there is still a lot of value in this partnership. There's a dynamic here that's really particular and very sweet and very the word essential is coming to my mind. There's something at the essence of this connection that's very profound. That's really clear, obviously, from these two cards being together. But I feel there's something in your energy. Okay, got something there. So while your partner might be going through a specific healing crisis, what I just got there is that there's something particular about your energy that is really supporting and helping them to grow and change. And I feel like this energy that you're wanting to express with rebelliousness is actually a really important part of this. So if you've been questioning that and feeling unsure about how to go about bringing out this energy that you're feeling, keep pursuing the understanding of that, because I feel like there's something really vital in this reading for you and also for your partner's healing. So explore that a little bit more, if that makes sense. Like I'm feeling these two energies really strongly together. The Hierophant for me is about, formal things. It's very old school. It's very traditional. It's very, it's the church. It's bureaucracy. It's governments. It's institutions. That kind of thing. Whereas the Star is very Uranian. It's very exploratory. It's rebellious. It's very innovative, right? So there's these, and they're on opposite ends of this diagonal axis of the reading. So I want you to explore that a little bit more and discover how that what that looks like for you and how you can express that in a way, because I feel like it's something in your energy that's for you. It's for you, of course. Like your healing is your journey, and that's only for you. But I feel like there's something that by like your partner's proximity to you, even though what you're going through may seem like a lot of actually a result of what your partner's difficulty has been, there's something here about you needing to express a certain type of rebelliousness or something dynamic that's unexpected, that is for your own healing, but that because of the proximity your partner has to you will help and support them too. I don't know how to explain that any better than that. It's just how I feel, and I hope that makes sense for you. Please let me know in the comments if you can relate at all to that. Let's have a look at the bottom of the deck now. Right, Death, Eight of Swords reversed, Eight of Pentacles reversed, and Queen of Pentacles. I like this energy. This is telling me that there is a time now here where you're coming into a space that shows you are gaining more clarity and understanding about your purpose. I'm hearing specifically about like the work that you do in the world, and there's a kind of coming into a space of more just simply more clarity about that and more awareness of the path that you're walking and how you can best expose and illuminate the gifts that you have. That's like that little snapshot feels kind of quite different from the majority of the reading, where we're kind of talking a lot about your own, like your personal, emotional, and mental well-being and health and healing, also with regard to people in your environment, like your partner or whatever. But this feels really specifically here about your work. The way that you earn money and the craft, the talents and skills and the craft that you practice, that you use to be in service to something greater. I feel like you're getting a little bit more insight about that. And so for some of you, the Death card here could be talking about a transition or a shift in the career that you're on, the career path that you're on. You could be starting a new business or starting a new endeavor or changing jobs, something like that. But I feel like whatever insight you have at the moment is really clear, and it's giving you a lot of insight and perspective on your purpose here and the path that you are walking. Just checking over here, but I feel that that's it for this reading. I'm just going to make sure I didn't miss anything. I didn't really talk about this Knight of Cups here at the foundation. I feel that what's here is it's going to seem a little contradictory, but it's almost, like what I was describing earlier with regard to some kind of like a rebellious or almost shocking expression or action that you feel like you want to take, but you maybe have been holding back on. I feel that this Knight of Cups is describing an energy here, like this is describing your unconscious, right? Your subconscious mind is what's here. This is what's hidden or what's unknown to you. It's almost like in the rest of the reading, there's a lot of energy about emotional upset or disturbance or feelings of disappointment or some kind of painful, challenging aspects here in the reading. But I feel like that energy that you're holding back on a little bit with regard to some kind of rebelliousness or some kind of unexpected behavior that you take, I think there's a way here that you need to see how you can create a healing experience by actually just channeling the energy of that thing that wants to come through you from a place of unconditional love, and seeing how your actions of self-healing can have an impact on the people around you as well. Because I feel there's a little bit of energy in this reading, and maybe it's these two cards here together. I feel like you maybe feel like you've been compromising and sacrificing too much. And I almost get the sense here that you feel like you need to be selfish, and that's actually really true. Like if you're giving up too much all the time for your partner, that will slowly chip away at your self-esteem and will affect your self-confidence, and it will affect your ability to be clear on your journey, and it will also affect your ability to be in a really enlightening relationship with another person where there's a sense of real equality, as it shows in these cards. So point I'm making is with Knight of Cups, like figure out how you can channel the energy of your own self-healing into what you're doing here in a way that you can feel it will have a beneficial impact on the people around you too. Alright, that's it for the general. I hope that was helpful. I'm going to use the Voyager deck now and do another holographic mandala spread to have a look at the higher octave of this reading. So please send your energy into the deck so I can get really clear messages for you. We're going to look at any karmic and spiritual forces at play. We're going to look to see if there's any blind spots that can be illuminated. And hopefully we'll also gather some practical insight and advice from your guides about how best to actually work with the energies available to us to make the most out of the lessons that we've been dealt at this time. Alright, let's take a look. 8 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. We had that here in the extension. 3 of Pentacles crossed by 7 of Wands. That's the same card here. 9 of Wands. The Fool. Man of Crystals, which is the King of Swords. We have him here. 3 of Wands reversed. Child of Cups. That's Page of Cups. The Sun. Beautiful. Temperance. Lovely. 8 of Worlds reversed. It's the same card. Both in reverse here. Magician. Awesome. Man of Worlds. It's King of Pentacles. Ace of Wands. And Man of Wands reversed. It's the King of Wands. So there's a few repeating cards in this spread. So in the previous reading, you had the King of Swords in reverse here in your in your energy, like in how you see yourself. And now in this reading, it's in the past. And then in the previous reading, you had the Magician in the past, and now the Magician is out here in the sort of future. So it's really interesting. What I'm feeling from this spread is that you are really ready to kind of start a new cycle. You kind of feel like you're done with all of that stuff. Like, how do I say that better? It's more like you're really ready to turn the page and have a sense of a new beginning here. Because you have Magician and Fool, both in this reading, both upright, with the Sun as well as Temperance. So I have a feeling in this reading that even though there's some challenging aspects that you're dealing with at the moment, I feel like you actually are in a good place to feel like you're capable and able and have the skills and the necessary points of contact or development to begin something new without bringing forward too much of the baggage from the past. Like, there's been a lot of healing. You've made a lot of progress. You're understanding yourself a lot better than you ever have. You have this kind of tenacity and trust that you've been developing over time simply through the challenges you've been through, and your willingness to face them and rise up and, cultivate more discipline and more passion to continue with the journey. And something recently has been very illuminating. Like, I feel there's an energy in this reading where there might have been a recent event where something particular happened that gave you a sense of understanding about something that may have been a mystery for quite a while, that may have left you, that the mystery that you now have a little bit more understanding on may have been something that was going on for a long time that left you feeling a little bit like on shaky ground, something that was feeling uncertain or unclear. But now that feels like it's cleared up, and you have a greater sense of just a general sense of awareness, and that brings you to a place of more calm, more trust, more understanding. Even if you don't necessarily know exactly what is ahead of you, there is a sense of calm that comes with like simply gaining more trust and awareness along the way, simply by just the time that has passed of you being involved in your development. So let's take a look at the bottom of the deck now. Get some more extension. 8 of Crystals, 10 of Pentacles upright, Death reversed, and 9 of Pentacles reversed. Interesting. You had Death in the previous reading as well, in the same area of the spread, as well as the 8 of Crystals. So 2 repeating cards there. And the other 2 cards that are there from the extended reading, the higher octave reading, are also both Pentacles cards. You had in the previous reading 8 of Pentacles and Queen of Pentacles, and here you have 9 and 10 of Pentacles. So this is a specific story here. I do feel that this part of the reading is specifically addressing your work and some changes that are happening in your career, in your professional life. it would seem that you've made some recent changes, or you've had some clarity recently about the direction that you want to take. And in this specific time, you may be transitioning into something different, or you might have already transitioned. And it's saying here that this is a really good decision, and that there will be a really good reward, financial reward, for the decision that you've made to change direction. So that's really beneficial. I feel that in this reading. It's really positive. It seems like you're getting closer and closer to a greater alignment with what you actually really feel is authentic and genuine for you in your work life, in your public life. There's something there with regard to service, but having Four Pentacles cards in this part of the reading, and they're all very empowering cards. So it's giving this suggestion of real abundance coming through as a result of changes that you've made in your career and work life, in your professional life. I like that. So let me just check over here with the rest of the spread and make sure I've got everything. So in the hopes and fears, you have this Man of Worlds. That's the King of Pentacles with Temperance. And this is hopes and fears. Another Pentacles card. So there's also the Eight of Pentacles here, which you also had in the extended readings. I do feel there's a lot of energy in this reading with regard to money and finances as a result of a kind of a transition in your work life, in your professional life, where you are coming more into a greater alignment with what's actually really important for you, what you want to express, how you want to be in service in the world. And it's coming through with this sense of real integrity and clarity. And it's like you've given yourself the chance to really channel specific magic that you have, that you want to provide in service to a greater whole. Now you have three kings in this reading. Here is the Man of Wands in reverse with the Page of Cups. You also have here the Man of Crystals, which is King of Swords, which you had in the previous spread here. And then there's the Man of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, which we already spoke about. So in this quadrant, what I feel here is that in the previous spread, I was kind of feeling like there was a little bit of an energy of rebellion with that King of Swords in reverse. In this spread, it's kind of a similar energy, but a little bit different in that with the Page of Cups and the Man of Wands here, I feel like your energy is kind of lightening up a little bit, and you're kind of like wanting to access a little bit more of a space of playfulness and fun and lightheartedness. Maybe recent times have been a little bit serious and quite focused on troubling issues that you kind of felt like needed to be solved or handled. And I get the sense from this reading that there's a little bit of a time now you're coming into where you want to just be more playful, have more fun, be more lighthearted, and less weighed down by the concerns and worries of any troubling issues or situations that you may have to be dealing with. So I like that energy as well. At the heart of the reading, Three of Pentacles crossed by Seven of Wands. You had Seven of Wands here as well in the previous spread, in the outcome. And then there's Three of Wands in the outcome here too as well. So 2 threes. I feel with this energy that there, again, like there's another Pentacles card there, Three of Pentacles at the center of the reading, that there's a little bit of a focus more here on the work that you're doing, on perhaps also on collaborating. I feel like you might have multiple, excuse me, multiple projects that you are working on with different people, or different groups of people with different agendas, and all of them feel quite interesting to you and really compelling. Again, tapping back into this energy of like feeling like you're in a better alignment with what your values are, what you want to express, how you want to be in the world, and the type of service that you want to provide. Sorry. I feel like for quite a few people watching, that you might be a freelancer or some kind of consultant, or some kind of like working independently, and you may be working with different clients, and you might find that as you're shifting into a sort of more refined version of what it is that you are doing for your work, that you're getting clients now that are more in alignment with the specific things that you want to do. And so it's helping you feel more refined, more fine-tuned, and more like clear in the specific way that you're wanting to work. And the customers that you're gaining are reflecting that. Overall, I feel this is a really positive spread here. Some definite changes and shifts. Sorry. Just checking over here, but I feel like we've got everything. was it's quite a different spread, the second one from the first one. Some really entirely different messages coming through. I would suggest you watch that again. There was quite a lot in there, and you might find that if you watch it later on in the month, towards the end of the month, that some of the things that may not make sense to you right now will be really relevant later on. So thank you for your time, Sagittarius. I appreciate your energy and your time that you contributed to this reading. It's an honor and a pleasure to read for you. I hope there's some things in there that you can use, things that you can work with to help you on your way. And thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.